Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and welcome back to another video. Of course, as everyone knows, Bill Paxton unfortunately passed away, and I already reviewed Aliens, and I did a fan commentary with my friend Efree on Aliens. Those are both still up on my channel. But I wanted to do a little Bill Paxton marathon since Mr. Paxton passed away, and I'm like, I can't skip Aliens in the marathon. It's Hudson. So I'm like, okay, I already reviewed it. I did a commentary with my friend Efree, which is a podcast. Why not do a solo fan commentary? And then quite a few people said, why don't you do it with your face on camera? And I'm like, well, you're not going to be seeing much, and I can't have the audio. In fact, if you hear a background noise, it's the equipment on in order to watch it. So, like my DVD player, TV, my Blu-ray player, all this stuff. So, if there's a background noise, I apologize. It's the best I can do. I don't know why people want to see my face while I comment on it, but here you go. So I'll come down from 5, and I am watching the extended cut of Aliens. Apologize for clearing my throat from time to time. So the extended director's cut of Aliens, when I say press play, after counting down from 5, press play. I have a reround to the beginning, have a pause at 000. So let's do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pressing play. We're at 3 seconds, 4, 5, 20th Century Fox logo popping up, 20th Century fuck face, but back then they were 20th Century Fox. I mean, year after you did Predator, you did Die Hard. I mean, this is when Fox was worth a shit. We are 22 seconds, 23, 24, 25. Just want to make sure anyone's in sync. A Brandywine production. And of course, Ridley Scott's Alien, classic film, love it. Sequel, people weren't sure if there should be a sequel. And Ridley Scott didn't come back, so when they were shooting this overseas, people were pissed because who the hell is this guy? Terminator had not come out yet. At the time he was writing this film, James Cameron, I believe, was also writing Rambo First Blood Part 2, another great sequel. What's funny about this title sequence, as a kid, horror films did not scare me. I would watch Nightmare on Elm Street and so forth. They wouldn't scare me. But as a kid, this title sequence scared me for some reason. I think it's just that weird choir-like music as the eye turns to this aid and this light. For some reason, as a kid, that freaked me out. As a kid, I would hide under the covers watching that. Freddy didn't scare me, but that, I don't know. But horror films rarely, if ever, scared me. Because real life was scarier. Beautiful paintings, beautiful matte paintings, practical special effects. Effects company did a great job. Not only Stan Winston, but people, even, and this looks wonderful on Blu-ray, the stars, and the setup to the film. Just the fact that here it is 57 years later, and of course, when you see the extended cut, you find out that she had a daughter, and that daughter is actually a character we would see in the video game Alien Isolation, which I did not play the game, but I've seen playthroughs of the game. In fact, my friend Michael Teen is playing it right now on his channel, Michael X Teen, Alien Isolation, which is Ripley's daughter as a grown-up trying to search for her mom, but as we know in this film, that's not going to happen. And of course, the setting from the ending of Alien, including the space helmet, which she was wearing while jettisoning that alien into space. And Sigourney Weaver, I'm sure she wasn't sure on coming back. I know afterwards she was kind of mad about it because it was more about guns than she thought, because she's anti-gun, which then I don't get, because in most films nowadays she has a fucking gun. Didn't she have a fucking gun in Paul? I know she had a gun in a cabin in the woods at the end. That Bruce Willis one with Henry Cavill, Cold Light of Day, she's like shooting at the lead guy and killing like 10 people. Ideas, if it's guns against aliens, that's bad. If it's guns against humans, that's okay. But yeah, this is sort of that, once again, following that dirty future, which I enjoy, which they don't do a lot nowadays. I think because they feel if they did it, it would be like Alien, Aliens, all these other movies. But if I try to think, what was the last film that had a, quote, dirty future? Because it wasn't, I mean, you look at the RoboCop remake, Total Recall remake, a lot of other sci-fi films, they're pretty clean, pristine. You don't see a lot of dirty futures nowadays. I wouldn't mind seeing that make a comeback. And you know what's sad? Even simple things like this would probably be CGI. This thing doing the scan for life forms. It's like, well, we can't build the thing, or come on, it takes too much time to build it. Let's just CGI that thing. It's no big deal. But it is a big deal because you can't get more real than real. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, Alien, when it came out, I had the old VHS tape with the old Fox tape that was just the egg and the great in space. No one can hear you scream. And this had a great tagline. This time, it's war. And it's a great... See, I know I'm jumping ahead, but Rogue One. A lot of people were mad that I did not like Rogue One. And someone would go, well, it's an ensemble piece. What do you expect? You think everyone can be likable in an ensemble piece? Or be a good character? This movie proves you can. If I want to see Rogue One, why don't I just watch Aliens? Group of people on a mission, capable lead, capable characters. I like that notion what her face sort of fades into the Earth. The closest she got to Earth, unless you see the alternate ending to Alien Resurrection. But, you know, fuck Alien Resurrection. That's a movie where everything looks like it's shit on the walls. I like the little touch, the Weyland Yutani on this equipment, the W's on there. And of course, you've seen the film. You know, this is the dream nightmare sequence, which, from what I understand, the reason James Cameron wanted to do that, the big scene in the original, is the chest burster. And people would think, oh, what's going to top the chest burster? Well, put the chest burster at the beginning of the film, and we'll see you later when the Marines are going in, but get that out of the way. So people are like, holy shit. I just imagine if you knew nothing about the film, if you're in a test screening, and nowadays you just see a trailer every day on YouTube. Back then, you'd be lucky if you saw the trailer on another movie. But what if you did not go to the movies that much? If you didn't know anything about the film, you went into this, like, okay, it's Aliens, sequel. Imagine you knew nothing about it, you saw this movie. I'm like, holy shit, it's Friday the 13th Part 2 where the lead girl's going to die at the beginning? And then it's just going to be a new set of characters? Because that's happened. I mean, Adrian Keene, Friday the 13th Part 2, she just right in the head. Is this happening here? What the fuck? How did she get infected? Of course, Paul Reiser, which I'm like, you know this character's a schmuck. Why? Well, because it's Paul Reiser. Does you get the 57 years thing? You were out there for 57 years. And right there, you feel so bad for the character, just all the shit she went with in the first movie. And not only was she out there for over 50 years, but then it's a 1 in 1,000 chance she got found out. You know, she got found. Otherwise, and that cat, if you think about it, is the luckiest fucking person in, well, luckiest thing in all these movies because it's the only survivor. That cat is the sole survivor because everyone else is dead, except the asshole prisoner. But from the first film, he's the sole survivor because Ripley dies, everyone else is dead, except the asshole prisoner in Alien 3 and, well, Alien Resurrection. But yeah, the nightmare scene. Even here, the James Horner score did a great job. I know, rest in peace, James Horner, another guy we lost. Really sucks because I'm a fan of James Horner. A lot of times he would repeat stuff in his scores, but I maintain this score is one of the best scores of all time. actually, definitely one of my favorites. And that was a good effect coming out, the stretchy skin. But that's an understandable nightmare. It doesn't seem out of place. I mean, considering all the stuff she's been through, it made sense. And also shows us later on why she goes back. If you're having nightmares like that, you want to defeat them, well, now we know what she's dreaming of, what kind of dreams we are, so we've set that up. And James Cameron, this is my favorite film of his. I mean, he did The Terminator. Before he did that, of course, this is the scene added for the special edition, which should not have been cut out. I think this should have been left in because it makes the whole thing between her and Newt that much more palatable, that much more meaningful. It was still meaningful in the theatrical cut, but this, it works. The fact that, you know, he's going to tell her about her daughter who died of old age. You know, she had a daughter, Amanda, and it makes us show why, even more so, she's so gung-ho to save Newt at the end. I mean, in the theatrical, yeah, because it's a little girl, why not? Here, it's because she's lost, technically she lost one daughter to this thing. Granted, they didn't technically get her, but because of what happened, she's been stuck there, and she missed her daughter's entire life. And so one daughter's gone. Now here's a potential daughter. She doesn't want to die either. And yes, I'm ignoring Alien 3 because fuck Alien 3. You'll be hearing that a lot too. But yeah, that's a picture of her daughter, died of old age, and it gives good emotion for the character, and you know, it's a little story for the character. It did not take that long. It's not like the scene's 10 fucking minutes long. And it helps with the ending of the film as well. And gains us more sympathy for the character, which I already had sympathy enough. Yeah, her 11th birthday. So, yeah, she was in her 60s, late 60s, when she died of old age. Then all the characters in the original that died, Parker and Brett. See, when I talk about Rogue One, and I'm like, I don't buy the lead girl. She's wooden. She's not energetic. I don't buy her presence. I don't buy her when she's giving her big speech. You know, you'll come with me. No, there's no. I don't see, hear, or feel any passion or fire from that girl in Rogue One or Rey in The Force Awakens or whatever. When she gets pissed off here, I feel that. And then this fucking woman with the Prince Valiant haircut, she's a bitch, which will get into the whole thing. And these are the business suits, the assholes. Always, you know, despite all the bullshit that happens, they gotta blame someone, so don't blame her for reasons unknown. And I'm like, I just told you, you asshole. It's not reasons unknown. We were told to sit down there, which destroyed my crew and your expensive ship. See, to them, it's all about the dollars. Good. Well, we're not there yet. Good. Because we blew out the goddamn airlock. Just like they said. It's a nice touch. You can actually read the background, and it does make a bit of sense. Here's the bitch, Prince Valiant haircut. I love this line. The iTunes just dropped sharply while I was away. That's how I feel about people nowadays. Did iTunes just drop sharply when I was away? And then this fucking bitch, fucking King Arthur, come up and stick their fucking sword up your ass. 370 worlds. A creature that just stays inside living human hearts. Shut the fuck up. Get a tampon up your ass, please. Get the tampon out of your ears, get the dick out of your mouth, and listen to Ripley. She knows what the fuck she's talking about. She'll punch you in the face. You fucking... See you next Tuesday. Spell that out. You'll know what I mean. C-U-N-T. fucking. That's the only thing I can name that bitch with the fucking Prince Valiant haircut. Right here. This is where I, you know, just down to that will be all. You know, all this bullshit you think is important, you just kiss all that goodbye. See, that's fire. That's passion. It's like, fuck you. And fuck you, Paul Reiser. Bert, you don't fuck people over. Now, this is added for the special edition, this whole thing where you hear her punishment. That she had to do a crushable judgment because these guys are fucking assholes. That she doesn't have her job anymore. Her license is suspended. So she can't work at her job anymore. We're not going to have any criminal stuff on your ass. Probation and psychiatric help. Yeah, douches and assholes is really what there is. Weird douches and assholes. Especially this guy. But yeah, Paul Reiser. What the hell was that TV show he did with Helen Hunt? I forget what the hell it was. And yeah, this whole thing where people have been on that planet and they're settling for colonists. I know people have complained, well, wait a minute, if they've been there for 20 years, how come no one's found that ship? Ask the people who discovered America. In 20 years, they still didn't discover everything in America. I guarantee it. In 20 years, they still didn't discover everything, let alone on the planet. If you went to a planet, doesn't mean you don't discover every part in 20 years. I can buy, and this whole part was cut out, of course, from the theatrical. I can buy it. I mean, you look at this place, the alien ship, the ship looks like it's part of the world. There's only 150-some people, so it's not like 1,000,000 people. They're worried about their families and maintaining their facility one by one. It's blowing all over the place, so you can't see well. It's not clear view. And it is one of those spots you have to find. There are spots in this world today that you cannot find unless someone tells you the right spot, the right coordinate, the right place. We've seen movies that the plot is, you can't find it unless I tell you the right spot, the right coordinate. There are islands, for fuck's sake, that fucking islands that people can't find. So right here, Paul Reiser tells them exactly where they're at. The only way they know where exactly at is Ripley's woke up. Paul Reiser found out from her report, and they're going to tell these guys who are going to send those poor some bitches, Newt's mom and dad, there. So that whole, well, I don't get it, 20 years, how come this never happened? It makes perfect sense to me. I don't know. Again, just go back in history. Go back in today's age. In today's age, there are still parts of the earth that people don't know about and can't find. Hell, I bet if I ask someone where the fuck where is Iran? They'd be like, they have to look on a fucking map. So yeah, I can. And I mean, this whole part, I'm glad that I can understand why it was cut out theatrical, but I think it works for the film. It shows the before and after where you had kids. You know, the aliens killed kids. Building better worlds, Wayland Yutani, you fuck sticks. But, you know, all these people, these blue-collar people who got killed because of the company, got fucked over by the company. And considering, like, all the rocks and all the valleys and all the stuff that looks the same, and also to see Newt before she went catatonic. And I thought that was kind of nice little touch there. And you get to see a little bit of the ship from the first movie. And that seems like one of those areas that you specifically have to know where you're going in order to find it. But yeah, I mean, James Cameron, he had worked on effects. He worked on films like Steve in New York with effects work. And what was that movie? Fuck, I forgot what the hell it was called. Galaxy of Terror. That's one of the places where we met Bill Paxton, who had worked on the crew to some of those movies. And then getting a chance to direct Piranha 2, which didn't go well, and he got fired or he quit. Then doing the Terminator, which he cast Bill Paxton as the, what you call it, the punk guy. And then would cast him in this, cast him in True Lies, Titanic. I remember the story on Evil Dead 2 where someone had talked about how Bill Paxton had went to James Cameron, woke him up, and said, "Hey, let's go see this movie called Evil Dead 2." So James Cameron and Bill Paxton, you can tell they were good friends, close friends. I know Arnold made a nice little video about Bill Paxton, because that guy was great in True Lies and so forth. And when this film came out, it did well. It was the summer of '86. It was a great year for movies. It's one of my favorite years for movies. Not only for films like this, but you had Big Trouble Little China. You had The Golden Child, which I love. You had The Fly remake. Maximum Overdrive, which is a favorite of mine. There's a lot of movies in '86 that I love. Cobra. Wish that year was nowadays. Well, I would love to have seen this in the theater. I would love the opportunity. I think my friend Michael CP had the opportunity, and I'm very jealous. I believe that's her real brother playing her character brother. And you see something like this, you kind of get why Newt is so catatonic seeing her own dad with a face hugger on there. You kind of get it. And it didn't feel that long either. I mean, this is when you know she's in some serious shit because her cigarette has this much lit. You know that's some serious shit. She doesn't even want to fucking flip that thing. Even the little details like the all the stuff on the ground there, the garbage, which that's how it would be in real life. There would be garbage and shit all around. And like there's like X on the left wall, like some circle with an X through it. I don't know what that is, but nice little touches. William Hope, of course. Always were an asshole, Gorman. And this is where you have to. Some people are probably hard to swallow. Why would she go back? That's a problem you have to overcome in a screenplay. Why would you tear her go back? And that's the thing. She says no. There's no way. I'm not going to. Hey, it's an advisor. You've dealt with these things before. People have disappeared. And she's speaking for the audience. I mean, she even goes, you don't need me. Right here. I'm not a soldier. You don't need me. And hell, I want more movies to rip off aliens. People like, oh, this movie, like Alien 3, the original script, we can't have it be like that because it'll be rip off of aliens. It'd be like, you know what, that's a good thing. Rip off aliens, please. More films should rip off fucking aliens because it's fucking aliens. And Paul Reiser being the sleazy schmuck. Oh, you're running loaders and forklifts? Fuck you in your hair. Shove your hair up your ass and wipe it. Shit stain. Yeah, but Burke's an asshole. And this is gonna be a tough commentary because it's a long movie, but it's not boring to me. Even the extended cut's not boring. It's just I'm gonna be so fascinated with the movie, I'm gonna be forgetting. Oh shit, yeah, I have to be talking. Duh. Whoops. See, that's again that fiery personality. I said no. I mean it. Get the fuck back. All right, get the fuck back to Helen Hunt and Mad About You. That's what the show was. Go back to Mad About You. Sit on Helen Hunt's tits, and in fact, she should sit on your head till you suffocate. No, not really. I have nothing against Paul Reiser, the actor. He plays a good asshole. Again, that cat, he is the sole survivor of these movies. That's the sad thing. And this was sort of the what James Cameron was going for the script is that she has these inner demons. She has these nightmares. She has these psychological. I know a lot of times he would bring up the Vietnam War, like sort of the soldiers. Vietnam, where they have the superior firepower, but yet the natives are using their tactics and their pretty much their ability to not give a fuck. So, yeah, how do you make Ripley go back? Well, she's got to face these demons. She's got to overcome them. And what's something they say? When Stallone was afraid of heights, he's like, I did the movie Cliffhanger to overcome my fear of heights. And I love this. You're going to have to destroy them, right? Not to study or bring back, but to wipe them out. And that if you face it head on, then you can overcome and live an actual life. And it made sense to me psychologically. That makes perfect sense to me. You know, a movie that does that shitty, watch The Descent 2. Or don't watch The Descent 2. That little cat is like squinting, like, hey, you know what? I'm going to survive. So you better not be talking shit to me. I even like the idea they made the spaceship look like an actual pulse rifle gun. I mean, even the military ship looks like a giant gun. And they even have, like, for space battles, guns on there. And this wasn't the theatrical either. You got some titties on a poster. It's sort of James Cameron taking a point, I think, from the original Alien, where just showing the entire facility to get sort of feeling for it, which I'm fine with. Because it looks cool. Great design. Love the design of the ship, the design of the guns. Like I've said before, it's one of those few movies that they even had a specific noise for its guns that you don't hear in any other movies. Like the sound of the pulse rifle is memorable and unique to this film. I think in one idea there was thoughts that it was going to be Bishop Lance Henriksen walking around and checking things out. I think there was also a notion that Lance Henriksen or someone thought, hey, what if I had two pupils? Or I think James Cameron's like, nah, that's okay. But I think it was supposed to be Bishop going on and checking things out. I guess they cut that. I know this whole shot, there was a mirror that was used, so it doubled the length of the pods. Simple but effective. And yeah, just so many memorable characters. I mean, Vasquez, Apone, Hudson, Hicks, Drake. I can think of the characters on the top of my head. I can't think of a fucking character name from Rogue One or other shit. There you go, Bill Paxton. The reason I'm doing this. May you rest in peace, man. And that nasty scar right on Drake's eye. It looked just like a feel. Al Matthews, who was really in the military, does a great job. And I know Bill Paxton said he took inspiration from him when he played a similar role in Edge of Tomorrow. Every meal's a banquet. You know, I love the Corps. This floor's freezing. You want me to fetch you your slippers? Gee, will you, sir? I like that. Look into my eyes. I really, Rico and Jeanette Goldstein as Vasquez, great character. Michael Biehn, of course, he wasn't even the first choice for this. It was going to be, what the hell was his name? He was in The Warriors. He was in 48 Hours. Oh, well, very fun dialogue as well. Well, whoop-de-fucking-do. Hey, I'm impressed. I've stolen that for a lot of reviews. Well, whoop-de-fucking-do, I'm impressed. I stole that from Hudson. You ever been mistaken for a man? No? Have you? You're just too bad. And the slap, boom. I love that. James Remar is the actor I was thinking of. He was going to be Hicks. Because Walter Hill, who's the producer, had worked with James Remar a lot in The Warriors, 48 Hours. It's like, hey, I directed a lot of movies with him. But apparently, I think he had a drug problem, so he was let go. They got Michael Biehn, and I'm glad. Dude, I don't mind James Remar, but Michael Biehn, he's perfect as Hicks. Yes, if the one you had was male, it don't matter when it's Arthurian. Come on, Bishop, do the thing with the knife. Come on, do the thing with the knife. Lance Henriksen, who was in The Terminator and Piranha 2 with James Cameron. Great job here as Bishop. Is it not me, man? I'm just messing around. Don't use my hand. And I like even the little idea that he put his hand over Hudson so that if someone gets hurt, it would be him, not Hudson. And just that reaction from Bill Paxton. Ah! It wasn't funny, man. Boy's definitely got a corn cup up his ass. And, you know, I can understand Ripley's reaction to this. The last time she was with an android, tried to force a fucking magazine down her throat as if it's his cock. So, of course, she'd be worried about fucking androids. Synthetics. I mean, if, again, wrap that fucking magazine right down her throat as if it's, like if it's his dick. And even Paul Reiser says, deaths were involved and so forth. But yeah, whenever I think of an android, I always think of Bishop. Lance Henriksen did a great job playing it cool, playing it like he's a machine, but he's likable. He's easy to root for. But at the same time, Ripley doesn't come off as a bitch. It's understandable considering what happened to her before. But yeah, she don't like the cornbread either. This is one of those things you just don't want to be seeing a lot of love and a lot of, oh, I love this, I love that. Because I don't know how else you do a commentary. I didn't work on it, so I'm not going to know behind the scenes. I don't have someone to bounce off of, so I feel like I don't, instead of dead air, at least keep talking with something. Hudson, sir, he's here. And he says that, or another bug hunt. It makes me think, what other bug hunts did these Marines go on? If he says it's another bug hunt, and even Hicks says, like, what's a xenomorph? It's a bug hunt. What other bug hunts did they go on? What other creatures did they deal with? Hell, if you want to talk about prequels, instead of Alien 3, I would rather have seen a Colonial Marines movie with this group of people. Like, all the adventures they went through. That would have been better than Alien 3. If you had a prequel 2 years after this or 3 years after this, and this same crew of people going through whatever, I mean, granted, on one point, it'd be pointless just what ends up with, but as a movie, I'd rather watch this than Alien 3. But Jeanette Goldstein should be in Terminator 2, Near Dark, and she thought they said legal alien signed up. Fuck you, man. Anytime, anywhere. See, this is a group of people that I actually have personality, that have character. Like Vasquez, she's tough, she's a badass. Hudson, he's a wise ass, pretty damn funny. Hicks, he's cool, he's a guy you want as a leader. But Ripley is not going to be a pansy either. He's like, listen, I hope you know what you get yourself in, because this is what this thing did in my crew. So I like this. A stream to her terror is not, hey, I'm going to let him walk over me. No, she's not. How do you have this chicken shit outfit? You secure that shit, Hudson. Uh, some people were annoyed by Hudson, but I wasn't. I was the opposite. I loved the character and wanted him to live, but doesn't matter because they all die in the next one. But to me, Alien 3 doesn't exist, so fuck that movie. I know there's talk of the Neil Blomkamp, which was going to be a follow up to this movie. I don't know. It'll never happen. Assholes and elbows, Hudson, come here, come here. But yeah, that Neil Blomkamp thing, I don't think he. Someone even asked him, and he said it's very slim that'll happen. So all that hype really it's for nothing because they wanted to do Prometheus 2 instead. Fuck Prometheus and fuck Prometheus 2, Alien Covenant, which all it does is look like a fucking remake of the first film. Fuck Alien Covenant. I don't care if you look forward to it. God bless you. Not me. To me, it should have stopped after this one. 2 good movies. That's all you needed. Sometimes you just need to stop. Yeah, I would be curious about an actual Alien 3 that's not the shitty Alien 3. I never understood the praise for it. Alien 3. I think it seems like people like Alien 3 hate this movie. I don't understand, let's have nihilistic and just say this movie didn't fucking matter. Well, that's a great sequel. You stick with Alien 3, I'll stick with this movie. To me, none of the other movies after existed. Alien Resurrection and AVP, they're not much better. And I like this, sort of setting up that she can handle these things. And set up before, like, earlier in the dialogue, Paul Reiser, about how she dealt with forklifts and such. And then showing this scene so that when it appears at the end, it's not out of the blue, like, wait a minute, how the fuck did she know how to drive that? But it doesn't seem like it's a scene, oh, pay attention, this will be used later. Just it seems like, oh, this is sort of part of the culture of this universe. It's a character moment. I love this equipment too. Very well done, practical wise. Bay 12, please. See, that stuff looks better to me than the shit that would be in Avatar. And they'd be wearing that kind of stuff in Matrix Revolutions and all sorts of stuff. But they actually did it for real. You had real stuff the way they did that. Effort. I can see the effort. I love the look of the weapons. I love that gun that hooks to your your waist. I can see the fire stomper with the sort of ego going back with the machine gun on the side of that aircraft. And James Horner's score, just that military drum mixed in. I know James Horner didn't have the best time doing the score. It took forever for him to get the film to see, and then he had to do it in a rush, and he just had a bad time. But honestly, after all that, he came up with, in my opinion, his best score. And even the stuff that didn't make it, but then they put into other films. For example, when the express elevator to hell going down, that sequence, there was an alternate piece of score which they actually, if you switch the audio on here, you can listen to it, which I can't because of copyright. But if you look up the trailer to The Running Man, look at the trailer to The Running Man, and that piece of music, especially the last piece of the score to The Running Man. But really, the trailer to The Running Man, that music was supposed to be in this express elevator to hell scene, which would have worked as well. Also, remember in Die Hard when Sergeant Al Powell, Reginald VelJohnson, shoots the guy at the end, and that piece of music, and Bruce Willis has that reaction looking up. That piece of music in Die Hard is from this movie, Aliens. Because on my CD, well, it's over there. I'm like, wait a minute, that's from Die Hard. It was a piece that wasn't used for Aliens, but James Horner wrote, and they put it in that scene in Die Hard. So when you see Sergeant Al Powell shoot that, I forgot the actor's name. He was in Waxwork 2. That piece was from Die Hard. And just nice little stuff they do with the characters. For example, Hicks, he falls asleep during it. Because he's been on so many of these drops. He's not scared by it. I like this physical military hardware. Spirits elevator to hell, going down. Because it's real model work, real, matte paintings. I miss matte paintings in movies. I miss that. I miss old school type of effects. I wish they would still do it. Hell, why aren't low budget films doing that? Because they can't afford the high tech CGI. You tell me they can't afford this stuff? Low budget films like Battle Beyond the Stars was doing it. You tell me you can't afford it? Do that. Then you get the niche market of old school 80s fans to go watch your movie. Instead of shitty Sci-Fi Channel CGI. Why don't they do that? Get some guy who can draw matte paintings and you get a niche market. Instead of, oh, look at that shitty CGI out of, Sharknado 3. And this whole thing where Gorman has never been, he's been on 38 simulated drops. I made combat drops 2, including this one, which is why he's so nervous. And once again, it's one of those things that shows just how ineffective this guy is, Gorman. I mean, William Hope's character is not effective. He's over his element. He's way over his head on this. And lo and behold, this is a movie that, hey, it's not wall-to-wall action. We're 40 minutes in, 42 minutes in, and it's build-up, but it works. It's a good-looking movie. It's a good-sounding movie. The music is top-notch. The cast have, You have to have a movie worth a shit when the aliens are not on screen. I love these characters. I love their personality. I love their back and forth. I love the sense of humor. Even this extended scene here, which I should not have been cut out. You know, I'm the ultimate badass. I mean, showing how cocky they are before they get their asses kicked. But for Bill Paxton, this is one of the best scenes he has in the movie. And it's only in the extended cut. Hey, Ripley, don't worry. Me and my squad ultimate badasses will protect you. Yeah. Check it out. Independently targeting particle beam phalanx. Fry half a city with this puppy. We got tactical smart missiles, phase plasma pulse rifles, RPGs. We got silent electronic ball breakers. We got newts, knives, sharp sticks. Chris Hudson does it. Bill Paxton does it much, much better than I do. That should not have been cut out. That should have been in the movie. Should have been in the movie. But I'm glad there's this extended. Like, this is one of the few extended cuts I love. Not many extended cuts I enjoy. Like, to be honest, The Abyss, I enjoy the theatrical cut of The Abyss more than the extended. I know I'm the only person. I enjoy the theatrical cut of The Abyss more. I enjoy the theatrical cut of... I'm not sure about Close Encounters. That's one of those I can't tell the difference between. Like, I don't know which one. I'm trying to think of other extended cuts. A lot of them are just bullshit. Like, this extended cut was bull. Like, the director's cut of Army of Darkness, I like the theatrical cut more. With the S-Mart ending. Like I said in my review of Army of Darkness, I like that S-Mart ending. So, but this extended cut I love. I love the theatrical, but between the two, I actually prefer the extended cut. Because the stuff added in, I love. You know, that Hudson monologue. At the end, when Hicks and Ripley have that one little moment, I thought that was really cool. And this is one of those movies, it's one of my favorite films of all time because I can watch it repeatedly and never get bored. I love the atmosphere, the look of the film. I love the tech special effects because James Cameron was really a stickler for that, to the point of being an asshole to people because he wanted it to be as best as it can be. So he's one of those types of directors. I love the equipment and tech. I love the little stuff they have on their gear, on their suits, words and phrases and pictures they have on there. The little red bandana Vasquez has. I think in one of these scenes, you're supposedly able to see James Remar as Hicks, maybe from the back. I don't know. I don't have that sharp of eye. Got glasses. Oh yeah, they had a bar there too. Well, 150 some people. Yeah, don't have a bar. But yeah, so many people are going, oh, you can't do that. It's a rip-off of Aliens. I'm like, rip it off more. I know a friend of mine would tell me about when they did the sequel to the remake Hills of Ice. And Wes Craven was interviewed because he was a producer, and him and his son wrote that sequel to that remake. And he's like, oh, well, we don't want to rip off Aliens. It's like, why not? Alien 3. We can't have that script. It's too much like Aliens. What's wrong with that? We've seen that. Yeah, and I've seen a piece of shit movie. It's called Alien 3. Which can suck my dick. You're beating a dead horse. You know what? That's a horse that deserves to be beaten. Just call me a fucking necromantic. Alien 3 is not only a dead horse, it's a dead horse ready to be fucked. That's why I hate that movie, because I love this movie a lot. See, I love because of the extended cut, we got to see how nice and pristine this place kind of looked, and now how everything's up shit creek, and we didn't need to see the firefight. We didn't need to see the aftermath as well enough, because I could put 2 and 2 in my head. That's one of the reasons why we didn't need the theme prequel when they did that, because I don't need to know what happened to the Norwegians. I can figure that out in my head just looking at the aftermath. Just looking through the aftermath, I can see that. Everything's torn up. Everything, how the aliens got through, and places the aliens might have been shot. That's why there's acid through the floors, and different barricades they maybe tried to do. And not only that, but I just like the look of these old movies. I don't know if it's the grain, the color is natural. Like nowadays, everything just seems fake, phony, pristine. I don't know what you call it. Like there's no, maybe because it's shot in this is on film. Maybe because it's shot on digital, and they clean everything up to the point of being off-putting in a way, and they tune the lighting. For example, if you watch DC movies, how that lighting, they tune it any way they see fit to fit one of those fucking color wheels. I hate that shit. Because you do not get movies that look like this anymore. And I prefer this look. And even on Blu-ray, it looks beautiful. And, oh, there's grain. The grain helps it. Grain's part of it. Otherwise, that's why you get this bullshit nowadays when they do that, and it's called DNR. Some of those shitty releases. And this is a build-up that works. You know what build-up that doesn't work? Fucking Godzilla from 2014. Because Aaron Taylor Johnson is nowhere near any character in this movie. I even like Burt fucking Paul Reiser's character more than Aaron Taylor Johnson in that Godzilla movie. If you don't do build-up, you have to do it well, or you're just going to be boring as shit. This does it very well. See, if you enjoy the film, and if you go, I'll like this film even if the creature doesn't show up. For example, I think some of this is extended too. I think some of this is not in the theatrical cut. I think this wasn't in the theatrical cut here with the Goodwin Hudson. We have a negative situation here. Moving on. But what I was saying before is, what the fuck was I saying? Shit. I seriously forgot what the fuck I was saying now. God damn. Oh, I was talking about the look of the film and digital and likable characters, doing a build up. Those be boring as hell. Oh, even if the creature doesn't show up, if you still enjoy the film, Tremors. That's another example. I love those characters. If the creature doesn't show up, well, I'm having fun. But the creature showing up is an added bonus. That's when you know your movie's working. And yeah, that's where the acid for blood went through all the whole, just how many floors it went through. And again, Gorman, he's got his head up his ass. He doesn't know what he's doing. He thinks everything's gonna be fine. Hey, look at the guys I have. This is top notch. It'll be a-okay. But Pendeo. Yeah, Gorman's a Pendeo. Never say that right, but Spanish. And this is another scene that was not in the theatrical cut. The sort of moment where she hesitates going back in. Because this is sort of that line that she crosses to, okay, now she really is going to face her fear and overcome it. And I think these moments, these little moments work well. They work well with the characters. They work well with the story. I don't find them that meaningless. I think it's a nice little sprinkle of, you do a bowl of popcorn, is a nice sprinkle of butter for that popcorn. Makes it taste that much better. But fuck, man. It's always that question, why can't they make movies like this anymore? And it's an easy question to ask. It's a almost impossible one to answer because do you make a movie but then it's just called a ripoff? There are people who do try to make a good movie. It's just, in my opinion, a lot of times they fail. And then there's sometimes you ask, what the hell are you doing? Why do you have Arnold smiling to what you gonna do when they come for you? Like in the last Terminator film. I'm like, really? That's where this. And James Cameron said that's a great movie. Terminator Genesis. That's why Cameron is Jimmy Tammy to me. Here he had balls. Titanic, he dropped his balls. His wife cut his balls, or maybe his wife took his balls in the divorce settlement. He made Titanic, made Avatar, and then fucking saying Terminator Genisys, Sega Genisys is such a great movie. It's the real Terminator 3. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, Arnold jumping in CGI land and dive bomb through a fucking CGI helicopter. Just like his career's dive bombing. That's a fucking great sequel. And Arnold doing this. What you gonna do when they go for you? If you like the film, fine. I don't understand the love for Terminator Genisys. I know because on my videos, even if it doesn't look like it, you do still thumb up and thumb down. It's just I'm the only one who can see them. And there's a lot of thumbs down on that video because a lot of people love Terminator Genisys. But yeah, this is where you get to the face huggers. I know James Cameron was not a fan of his own face huggers. He thought the first one had better face huggers. I think these face huggers look great. I like the idea. That's a nice jolt coming up right here. Boom. Now that's something ready to fuck you. That's a bad pussy. Looks like love at first sight to me. See, that's why I would be at least curious about Neil Blomkamp's Alien film. To see Hicks again would be really cool. That's one reason. But again, they chose Prometheus 2 because it's Ridley Scott. That's why. And Neil Blomkamp's last two films were not that popular. Elysium Chappie did not do that well. And money talks. Box office talks. Of course, coming up, y'all know this is when they're going to find Newt. That's another reason. People are like, how the hell could she survive by herself? I'm like, why is that hard to believe? She's hiding in vents and she's hiding little corners. How many fucking movies have we seen, or how many stories have we seen where a person hid in the jungle? 127 hours. That's based on a true story. How the hell did that happen? People would say that's impossible. 127 hours. But it happened. I don't find that hard to believe as people do. She's quiet. She doesn't talk. She hides in little corners and wasn't like she hid there for a fucking year. It's not like it was 5 months. I forget exactly the time frame, what amount of days it is. And I think Carrie Henn did a good job. That's another thing I know when people who love Alien 3, they don't give a shit about Hicks. They hate Newt for some reason. I don't know why. I think she worked perfectly fine, Carrie Henn. She was likable. She was quiet. She was easy to care for because she was scared, she was innocent, she'd been through a lot of shit. She wasn't crying and annoying and irritating and screeching. She was scared to the point of being catatonic. Or this close to being catatonic. And yeah, Ripley doing the best that she can. She's the kind of character that's easy to root for. Even here, it shows like all the stuff she's collected, and there's the food right there in those foil packages. Right there, the foil packages and canned foods. That's where she's been staying at, and using the vents and so on and so forth. The fan probably hides her any noise she makes. And considering all she's been through, she's not going to 100% be in her right frame of mind. And also with the setup at the beginning of the film, her losing her daughter, and then here's another girl who lost her mother and family. Just simpatical with its storyline. It fits. But it's not over. What's the word I'm looking for? Not overabundance, but overbearing. Second grade. Rebecca. But people call her Newt. Well, I mean, now that I think about Mars, how many times do people talk about Mars and checking out Mars, but they still don't know every part of Mars? After how many years? Or hell, the moon? Or if you made a movie about, oh, there's something hidden on the moon, people would buy it. Yeah, the people who bought Apollo 18 is real. That movie? Yes, there are, because I've seen fucking comments. Not on my video, but other places who thought fucking Apollo 18 was real. So, buy that, you buy anything. Pretty much don't look on Wikipedia for any info. It's a bit talking for an hour. I apologize, folks. It's hard to do a solo fan commentary. Doing the best that I can with what I got. I do know that Sigourney Weaver was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actress, which was very surprising. No one would have expected that at all. No one would have expected that at all. And she deserved it. I thought she did a great job. Sorry, I was getting into it. But yeah, I mean, it was one of those films that... See, that's why some people were mad that Deadpool did not get nominated for Best Picture, and I'm thinking, I liked Deadpool, but it did not deserve Best Picture nomination. Let alone winning, but it didn't deserve a Best Picture nomination. This movie, I could see deserving a Best Picture nomination. People are like, oh, that's going over the top. No, it's not. Not to me. I fucking perfectly buy it. see. It's Gordon Carroll, David Giler, Walter Hill of Brandywine Productions, who produced the first film, were executive producers of Aliens. They were interested in a follow-up to Alien as soon as the 1979 release, but the new management at 20th Century Fox postponed those plans until 1983. That year, Brandywine pitched Cameron to write after reading his script for The Terminator. When that became a hit in '84, Fox greenlit Aliens with Cameron as director in a budget of approximately $18 million. The script was written with a war film tone influenced by the Vietnam War to contrast the horror motifs of the original Alien. It grossed $180 million worldwide on a $17 to $18 million budget. Nominated for 7 Academy Awards, including Best Actress nomination for Sigourney Weaver. It won both Best Sound Effects Editing and Visual Effects. Considered one of the best films of the genre. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, that's when they think they know where the colonists are at because they all had things injected with them. Hudson with his gum chewing. Oh, Bill Paxton received a Saturn Award for Best Supporting Actor for Aliens. That's really cool. I did not know that. Deserved. He deserved that. Yeah, it grossed $85.1 million in the US. First released on VHS in 1987, finishing as the 10th best-selling title of the year. Special edition of Aliens was released in 1992 on Laserdisc and VHS that restored 17 minutes of deleted footage. Most of the footage was first seen when the film made its broadcast TV debut on CBS in 1989. Got a lot of good reviews when it came out. I think it has a 90% Rotten Tomatoes, has an 8.4 on IMDb. Time magazine named Aliens in their best of 1986 list, calling it a technically awesome blend of the horror, sci-fi, and service comedy genres. Entertainment Weekly named Aliens as the second best action movie of all time behind Die Hard. It was 35 on Bravo's 100 Scariest Movie Moments. IGN ranked it as third in its top 25 action films of all time. It's also recognized by the American Film Institute and the 2003 list of AFI's 100 Years, 100 Heroes and Villains, Ellen Ripley as the number 8 hero. Huh. Very cool. Fair idea, at least a little bit of info. But as they're getting to the nest, I love the design on the walls here. How I'm not sure what they did to. Do they spit it up, secrete that shit? Maybe. I just kind of like bugs. Like, how do bugs do that? But I love the wetness. Yeah, secreted resin. So yeah, secreted. And yeah, I mean, it's an hour and 8 minutes in, and It's a dry heat. Dr. Hudson. This is when it is weird that Ripley's the one to figure this out. Like nobody who knows anything about it, the weapons, they could figure this out. But she's like, wait a minute, you don't blow everyone to Kingdom Come because they'll rupture the cooling system. Doesn't bother me. It shows they're up shit creek because they can't. You know, he even says there's a big fusion reactor, so they can't fire otherwise it blows all the Kingdom Come. Of course, someone's like, fuck this, and they still do it, which I can't blame them for. And Gorman, you did not remember the three P's. Well, you did remember the three P's. Piss poor planning, but you fucked up, man. You fucked up. Sorry, just replying to someone as I'm doing this. But yeah, Vasquez cheats on their ass. Yeah, it's hard for me to really blame them. I mean, even the one guy, like you said, we don't use harsh language. Come on now. That's where you get the use it for close encounters. Hey, shotgun, never a bad thing to have in a movie like this. I would say shotgun is one of my favorite weapons in a movie. It's like anytime someone gets a shotgun, I'm like, I'm waiting for the shotgun fun. Hard Target, among other films. I mean, one of my favorite films is Hard Target, where Van Damme did some usage on a shotgun. It's always nice to see some shotgun fun in a movie. And all these poor colonists where they just got fucked in the ass with a lot of lube. Just creepy. These mummified humans just stuck in all these weird poses. Just these aliens didn't give a fuck. It did not give a shit. People fools in time. It's pretty creepy. It's creepy visuals, and just left there for these aides to hatch and facehuggers have some fun raping people in the face. Of course, that's the thing is if in the original Alien they did not delete that part with Tom Skerritt being found, there might not have been an alien queen because the aliens would take people and kind of the people would become the age themselves as the cycle of where did the age come from? They take people and they kind of in a way turn them into eggs. Like Harry Dean Stanton was almost getting turned into an egg, and Tom Skerritt's on his way. Again, if they had not cut that out, James Cameron could not have done Alien Queen, which is a big plus for the movie. But yeah, this poor lady. And then people are like, well, how come she wasn't gave birth yet? Well, I doubt Newt was the only one hiding. Maybe she was one of the last people to be hidden, and some people might have been picked off earlier, and then some might have been picked off later. So she might have been one of the last to be grabbed, and now the alien's going to have some fun. Supposed to be sucking on the titties, not going through the titties. But your stupidity is that you're burned. See, you're supposed to be sucking on the titties good, not bashing through them, you stupid chest burster. But they burn and they piss them off. This is a great shot. I love this. Literally seems like the walls are moving. All in shadow. You get a little bit of the fire lights and just this tangle of arms and tails. It's just like, oh shit, you know they're fucked. Yeah, these people are gonna be foobarred, fucked up beyond all recognition. Seriously. And this one again right here. Yep. Yep, you got fucked. You got fucked. Sorry, I'm getting lost in the movie again. But yeah, they just got fucked in the ass by the aliens, just coming out of the walls. And this kind of sequence you would see in so many films after this. People looking on, the lifeline going beep, the seeing video footage. You would see it in Jurassic World. You would see it in Predator 2. You would see it in, hell, the film I saw recently, Spectral, where they're fighting the creature, the alien, or dealing with this. They're being picked on one by one. You don't even see it on video, and they're telling them, get out of there. And this is the first big action scene. It's not Michael Bay, and it doesn't need to be. It's better than Michael Bay. Because I give a shit about the characters, and there's intensity, and there's... Yeah, again, even the fucking firepower has a memorable feel to it, a memorable feeling to it. Pretty damn cool. And Gorman thinks he knows what he's doing. He thinks he's got the situation in hand, but unfortunately, Apone gets taken. Maybe it would have been nice to see him a little bit more in the movie, but still, great character. Where's Apone? We're not there yet. God damn it. Where's Apone? The sergeant's gone. Let's get the fuck out of here. That's the scene I was mimicking when I was pissed off about Jurassic World. I'm like, and then fucking second now, I'm like, where's the bone? Get the fuck out of there. Even the death of the aliens, I love the screeching. It's like a weird elephant type of sound that they mixed in. And yeah, Gorman's so out of his head that Ripley's like, fuck this, I'm gonna do something. Get your head out of your ass. Fine, keep it there till you suffocate or because you enjoy the warmth and muster of your head up assness. What the fuck hell you doing? I'm gonna drive this son bitch up this fucking pipeline's ass and I'm gonna rescue some motherfuckers. And you get that James Horner score kicking in. I'm like, get out of here, I'm gonna slap you in the nuts. And Ripley is a guy, she's a person that you want on your team. Easily. You want her on your team. And love the... Sorry, I'm getting lost in the movie now. I tend to do that. Just bash you through the fucking thing. Get the fuck out of my face. Let's get out of here. Shooting up aliens. I think they only had, what, 7 or 8 people, and they just kept reusing suits. Which works well, because it seemed like there were 100 of them. And you know, do that for other movies then. Make 7 or 8 suits. Make some suits that you could blow up in a quick shot, but not quick enough so it's confusing. See, I actually understand what the fuck's going on. I understand where they are, scenery-wise, environment-wise, placement of people. I'm not confused. Oh, there's an alien come right there. Vasquez like, hey, watch out. She kills it, but the acid gets on Drake. Acid on his face. He's, you know, he's foobarred. And yeah, this great moment from Hicks. Great shot of the alien. Up close shot. Eat this. Now boom. That's a clap worthy moment, man. That's a crowd pleaser moment. I was trying to think of the word. Blowing the head of the alien with a shotgun. Blowing it up, not blowing it. That'd be a different kind of alien movie. Maybe it's the movie Sigourney Weaver wants to make because she wants to have sex with the alien. That's what she said in the counter to the first one. But yeah, Ripley, she's not, ooh, a damsel in distress, ooh, a broken nail dead weight. She, even right here, there's one trying to claw her face out. She's like, oh yeah, eat this. I don't, Grand Theft Auto your ass. GTA, bitch. Crushing your head like a fucking peanut. Fuck slowing down, go through the fucking door. And even hits is like, hey, wait a minute, we gotta slow down. You know, ease down. Ease down. I know you're. She's like, fuck this, let's keep going. And see, it's not a 50-minute action scene, Michael Bay, but people remember that more than your Transformer movies. Because you care about the characters, care about the story, care about, yes, the music and the visuals, but the characters, the story, what's going on, what's happening, and it makes me give a shit more. And Vasquez ready to pop Gorman in the face. Boom. Back off right now. Ready to just elbow the shit out of him. And of course, another great moment for Bill Paxton here. And even Ripley has to be sort of the bearer of bad news and the truth where, you know, they're being cocooned like the others. And, you know, we can try, but we don't get there in time. How many of them are there? They're riled up, so no match for them. There's a lot of memorable quotes in this too. You know, we take off, nuke the entire site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure. That's a quote that I've heard many times. Nuke the site from orbit. There's Paul Reiser being addicted again because he's Paul Reiser. And speaking of Hudson, there'll be another great moment coming up. Yeah, watch us, motherfucker. Maybe I've been keeping up with current events, but we just got our asses kicked, pal. See, he's scared and he's kind of, some would say, a coward, but he goes down in a blaze of glory at the end. And you buy what Bill Paxton's saying, and you buy his fear. And I never found him annoying. I found him funny, his reactions. But not funny and, oh, look at this bad actor way. Funny as in, yeah, I can't blame him sort of way. And then Hicks is sort of that cool, soft-spoken guy who is a badass. And then Hicks pretty much just repeating what Ripley said. And that's a cool little moment between the two. Yeah, you saw all those people with them, and now look what they're down to. They got, again, sort of the trying to with that Vietnam War aspect. You know, they thought they were caught. A lot of them were cocky, had superior firepower, went down, got their asses kicked by the insurgents, by the people who had the primal or supposedly more primitive weapons, knowing the environment, using the environment against their opponents, the primal weapons, which is their claws and what they have in their body, and they were able to defeat the American firepower technology. And Spuntmeyer got it, and now she's going to get spunked right in the face, right here. And that's not a good kind of sex. That's the kind of sex that goes, chow. You know, we're through, we're dumped. Just like this fucking ship got dumped on its ass, rolling down the river of pain. Boom. Their ride definitely got foobarred. I'm sorry, anytime I see Bill Paxton, I have to smile. I really do miss the guy. I mean, I know he passed away not that long ago, but still, I really do miss the guy. Even in a supporting role, he just made it work. Like this scene here. Great, this is fucking great. Yeah, well, what the fuck are we supposed to do now? Where's some real pretty shit now, man? You finished? You finished? I know this has that awkward line that she was given to say. It's a little bit awkward. It never bothered me as much as other people. It's coming up. The mostly line. But of course, game over, man. Game over. What the fuck we gonna do now? What are we gonna do? But this is a line. And they mostly come out at night. Mostly. I don't know, maybe if they had her say usually, like they usually come out at night. Usually. Maybe that would have worked. Like, it never bothered me as much as other people, but I know some people have a problem with that line. And maybe if she said the word usually. Pretty much shows how far up shit creek they are with the limited amount of weapons they have. They have a little bit of a flamethrower. They have a couple pulse rifles. And this is extended because these robot sentries are not in the theatrical, which again, it adds another action beat to the film, and I think they worked fine in the extended cut. The extended cut should have been released in theaters, but I guess they were afraid if it's too long. 17 days. I don't want to rain on your prayer, but we're going to last 17 hours. They're coming here like they did before. They're coming here, they're going to kill us. Hudson. This little girl survived longer than that with no weapons and no training. This is one of my favorite lines coming up. Why should put her in charge? But Ripley's tough. It's like this. I'm sick of your bullshit. This is what we gotta do. We gotta get this. We gotta get that. And I buy it. I buy her fire. I buy her passion. But it's not bitchy. It's not annoying. It's not. It's forceful to the point if we gotta do this, otherwise we'll die. But still, I can't blame Bill Paxton. He could have been fuck this, I'm not doing this. But, he calms down, he's scared, and he does it. He ultimately does it, and there's actually a little arc. At the end, he dies fighting in a blaze of glory like a badass. So, I like his character. Like right here, he'll do his best and show where they need to go, what's going on, and he doesn't just become completely useless and do nothing. I think that's the thing about the characters, that in a weak writing, he just do nothing, complain for 50 more minutes. But here, it's Bill Paxton is helping out with the maps and being useful. It's not going in the corner crying for another 15 minutes. And then this sort of becomes Assault on Precinct 13. Really? They're in a spot. They won't be coming from the outside. They have to block themselves in. And maybe that's another reason why I love the film, because I love Assault on Precinct 13, and this is sort of the Assault on Precinct 13 section, where these almost faceless things are going to be coming at them in all directions, and they have to try to survive. Especially when you get to that point later on in the film. Yeah, this entire stuff was cut out. Sort of that old school laptop. But come on, it's 1986. You can't. I mean, 86 computers were. There's no way you could know there'd be a laptop like this. Hell, I mean, I'm doing this on a laptop. What's funny, like this bit here was in the theatrical. It's just the stuff earlier where, they're testing out the sentry guns. And I thought it was some nice little subtle moments between these two that maybe something could come up after it, maybe not. But it's not over the top, it's not overbearing, because the situation doesn't call for that. Because a lot of movies, they force this love story that's not needed. They force this love story, and you're like, for me, I love Stallone's Daylight, but that's one of those movies that forced a love story that wasn't needed. You didn't need a love story in that. There's a lot of movies that do that. Sometimes, when the situation is this dire, don't force a fucking love story into it. It'll be subtle, fine. And I thought these two worked well together, Sigourney Weaver and Carrie Henn. I thought they worked very well together. It was very easy to care for the kid. Again, sorry for clearing her the throat. But she's quiet. She behaves. She listens. She's not annoying. She's not aggravating at all. So she's not, driving the vehicle to save the day or flying the vehicle to do this and. But I thought these worked very well with each other. They had good chemistry with each other. And that line, no real one, about monsters, no real ones, but they are. I think Sigourney Weaver says that at the beginning of Alien Resurrection, written by Joss Whedon, which that right there tells you, just because Joss Whedon writes something doesn't mean it's good. Because even Joss Whedon would say, Alien Resurrection, they didn't really change my script, they just did it badly. But even if I just looked at the script, I'm like, it's a shitty script, Joss, I'm sorry. A clone Ripley? A fake Ripley? Why should we care about fake Ripley? Don't get that. And some extended dialogue about her own daughter. If you're wondering, I'm looking up some trivia on IMDb, because why the fuck not? The knife trick scene was not in the original shooting script. According to Lance Henriksen, the adding of Hudson's hand to the knife trick was discussed with almost everyone except Bill Paxton. Lance Henriksen had privately pledged to quit acting if this part did not work out for him after years of journeyman roles. It proved to be one of his most successful films. According to Bill Paxton, he improvised much of his lines, including "Game over, man, game over." That was improv. The alien nest set was kept intact after filming. It was later used as the Axis chemicals set for Batman '89. When the Batman crew first entered the set, they found most of the alien nest still intact. Al Matthews, who played a Marine sergeant in the film, was in real life the first black Marine to be promoted to the rank of sergeant in the field during service in Vietnam. To bring the alien queen to life, it took 14 to 16 operators. The alien screams are baboon shrieks altered in post. Huh. And this is the whole thing where they're going with. I know this was extended. Some of this wasn't in the theatrical cut. I think this part is. But like right here with Hudson talking, like bees and hives and. Yeah, the mama. She's badass, man. I mean, bitch. These ain't ants, a stupid old. I know that. This when he realizes that Bert is a fucking asshole. Big surprise. But I like Lance Henriksen the way he plays Bishop, where he's an innocent guy, and it's like later on when he kind of tries to make a joke. I'll mention that before he does into that tight vent. This is another great moment. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised. You know how in the Oscars they always show like the one scene and then best actress or best blah blah, and then they show a scene. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the scene because she does a great acting job in this, where she really lets in on Bert. Like, you sent them out there and you didn't even warn them. He's like, what if that ship didn't even exist? Yeah, but if it did, there's no exclusive rights. Nobody wins. And this is another thing I stole. I made a bad call, Ripley. It was a bad call right here. She just lays in on him. These people are dead. I'll make sure you nail you right to a wall for this, you fucking asshole. I'll make sure I'm gonna stick this fucking gun up your ass till it goes click. You know, I expected more from you. Well, I'm happy to disappoint you. It's good acting, even for a creature feature film. It's good acting, good characters, good personas, good personalities. And then added for the extended cut, this whole sentry scene, which gives a nice little action beat in between, when the first one and the one where all hell breaks loose. Or even the action beat when the facehuggers get loose on Ripley and Newt. And yeah, you get to see some firepower. You get to see just how these sentry guns work. It also shows just how, I don't know, pervasive is the word, just how gun-ho these aliens are. They don't give up. They're just, how many of them there are, such a steady supply. just how many there were, and just this pounding noise that you hear. The bishop was like, I have some bad news, Hudson. Well, that's a switch. Pretty much shows that the place is going to blow up into a big old supernova of assholes and elbows. 40 megatons of shit. That's almost as bad as Olivier megaton. I guess Hudson only had a month left before he was out. And then come up with the plan to get the other ship from the Sulaco. And that's when Bishop's going to go on that tiny vent. And man, I feel bad for Lance Henriksen having to get in that such a claustrophobic setting. To squeeze through in there, like no room at all. And apparently they had like a little tiny camera and a little thing this big, and they just had to roll it with a piece of rope. Like a camera this big for that. You count me out. How about we count you out for everything, huh? Well, you go, man. See, they don't tell me what Bishop, like, he tries to tell a joke. And I thought it was kind of fun. Come up here where he says, maybe synthetic, but I'm not stupid. He has that weird sort of kind of smile. I remember James Cameron had asked, well, what was that about? And Lance Henriksen had gone, it's Bishop sort of telling a joke and kind of without even realizing it. But God, this is such a claustrophobic tunnel to go through. You know, considering all the movies we get, I'm waiting for the... Now, I wouldn't be surprised one time there's going to be a movie that someone's going to be crawling in a tunnel that thin. I would not be surprised. It would be like a tunnel... I don't know what the hell... There was like a movie called Tunnel and Die, or Crawl Bitch Crawl, or something like that, where it's in a tunnel. Not as small as this, but God. I don't know if I'd be able to handle a tunnel that fucking small. I don't think I could handle that at all, man. More fun sentry guns. Just how wall to wall they are. So it did some nice aliens exploding in there. I think some of them are reused shots that we've seen before. It might have been from earlier. But that's what I mean. That's why Alien 3, I would love to have seen a bigger budget version of Aliens. Like, do more. As long as we got a little bit more money now, we could have more aliens exploding and, you know, what you can do with it. And with that sort of technology expertise as this movie had, I think that would have been great. And it also shows maybe they bought some time so that, okay, maybe they won't go down there now. Thus why they find another way, which is in the ceiling later on. Other ways to get in. So it's, maybe we got them demoralized. And this we get another great line, this time from Hicks, which I've heard this in quite a few movies and pop culture. I like this where he's yelling, but he's like, hey, wait a minute, guys. Stay frosty. And I like that. Like, he's generally yelling, but he's not a hard, stuck-up asshole. He's like, hey, wait a minute. I know we're all strung out. We know what we gotta do. Just take it, day by day. We'll get out of here. See, this is another thing. When you got to Alien 3, I remember when I watched Alien 3 with my friend Mike, and I mentioned this idea to him where if it comes to that, I'll do us both. That's why it would make sense in Alien 3 if the Charles Dutton character was just Hicks. That moment where, she goes up to Hicks and says, kill me, and she turns around and gives him the axe or whatever. Because you have a line like that. If it comes to that, I'll do us both. That's why, if you went from that to Alien 3 and then Hicks had to think of doing that to Ripley, there would be more weight to it. That's why you did not need to kill off Hicks. If you want to kill off Newt, I would disagree with that, but kill off everybody was stupid. Hicks could have been the Charles Dutton role. Easily. Would have made more sense. And, here you get a little bit of bonding between Ripley and Hicks, but also so that when she uses it, it's not one of those, well, how the fuck does she know how to use this? Which is hard to do in a movie because it could be boring with, oh, we gotta teach this person how to shoot, and it's not the most exciting thing, but these are quick and to the point and really cool. I always wish I could have a pulse rifle replica, but they cost so fucking much money. Even just for a replica of a pulse rifle, just to hold it, just fuck around for as a memento. If I was rich, I would buy a pulse rifle memento. Maybe like, hey, if someone works for Aliens and saw this commentary and loved it, send me a replica of a pulse rifle, please. That'd be the best gift ever. But I love the kind of weapons, the sound effects it makes. So it's memorable. Love the look of it, sleek and smooth, and the grenade launcher on top of it. So get more into trivia on IMDb. Bill Paxton continuously apologized to Carrie Henn throughout filming every time Hudson had to swear in front of her. Carrie later admitted she didn't mind, mainly because she really didn't know what any of the words meant. Oh, and that deleted scene, the portrait of Ripley's daughter is Elizabeth, Sigourney Weaver's real-life mother. Okay. Yeah, Lance Henriksen wanted to wear double pupil contact lenses for a scene where Bishop is working in the lab on a microscope and gives a scary look at one of the Marines. He came to the set with those lenses, but James Cameron decided he did not need to wear them because he was acting the character with just the right amount of creepiness already. The only acting role for Carrie Henn, she later became a teacher. Aliens was never shown to test audiences because editing was not completed until the week before its theatrical release. According to Lance Henriksen, during the production of Aliens, the film Full Metal Jacket was also being shot at a nearby location. Because of this, the crews of each movie would often gather together for parties. Because, yeah, that great scene where Burke is a fucking dipshit, asshole, fuck-faced, numbnut, ball-breaking piece of shit. And they got... This is the scene that's on the Bravo Scariest Movie Moments. What was it, 35, 30? Forget which one. But the Bravo Scariest Movie Moments, when they picked this scene, they picked this one. Because you saw the facehuggers, briefly in the first movie, but to have an actual scene around is pretty cool. Having sort of this cat and mouse chase locked in this room. It's a really good, memorable scene. It has some tension and good music once again by James Horner. And trying to figure out how the fuck to get out of this situation. Burke even took her fucking gun, so she can't just shoot it or shoot the glass. As Alan Rickman would say, shoot the glass. See, there's a gun right there. Burke, that fucking prick. Fuck you, Burke. Try and do the best that she can, but then look at this. This is this fucking asshole. You motherfucker. See? It's Paul Reiser, so he's gonna be a prick. This with P. Paul Prick. Fucking dickhead. Try and do the best that he can. And this is some strong fucking glass. More seems more like plastic instead of glass. Plexiglass, maybe. I don't know. Futuristic glass. That's what it is. But again, it's a smart character, has to think on her feet. So, of course, in the bed, the lighter had the fire alarm. See, in an interview, composer James Horner felt that James Cameron had given him so little time to write a musical score for the film, he was forced to cannibalize previous scores he had done, such as Star Trek II and Star Trek III. Said they would never work together again, but then James Cameron loved the score to Braveheart. They worked together on Titanic and Avatar. Yeah, I thought the effects guys did a good job with the facehugger here, and nice effects work. See, you don't need CGI. You know what? If you want CGI, just do it to wipe out any wires. Like, if you have wires, wipe out wires, stuff like that. But this shows that you can do this stuff, and Hicks being a badass, going through that fucking window, and the others get to have stuff to do. Hicks, get rid of this facehugger. Hudson, get rid of this facehugger. See, all the characters have actually something to do. Not just useless waste of space. Even Gorman's helping out. See, he may be over his head, but he's helping out. He's not waiting in the background with a thumb up his ass and a smile on his face. See, I like that. Like, giving each person something to do. Vasquez kills one, Hudson kills the other. Hicks and Gorman getting the facehugger off. Give each character a purpose. That's a nice family shot that Carrie Henn says that James Cameron said he might have wanted to do an Alien 3. Should have let him. Some other nice moments from Hudson. A little bit. Yeah, Burke pretty much, he was going to get him through customs, so to speak, with an actual alien being inside themselves. Weapons for the colony, study for the colony, and so forth. And not only that, he was going to wipe them out and sabotage your shit. I love Hudson. Right here. Fuck, he's dead. You're dogging me, pal. I don't know which species is worse. You don't see them fucking each other over for a goddamn percentage. We waste them, no offense. I don't blame Hicks. Nice usage of red lighting. Really, I think fits with the mood of the scene, where all hell is literally going to break loose. And I hate to do this, but I'll be right back. I'm not going to stop it because it'll ruin the flow, but it'll just take me a minute. I just got to fix something real quick. Sorry about that, folks. Sorry about that, folks. Was just checking on my cat, and he's just playing out there. Just cats playing. I do have a couple cats. Always been I love big pussy. I love big pussy. See, it's because of the echo. Even little stuff like that, like the being able to fix the door, weld the door shut. I mean, you can do that, but I'm just saying. I love the little toys they made up, the motion tractors. I always thought that was a cool look. If you don't have all the budget in the world, you can show just right there that all these figures, just as he says, a big fucking signal. Show the amount of creatures you have in a cheap but effective way. And yeah, this is once again, they're up shit creek. Only 6 alien suits were used, and even then, there were mostly just a handful of latex appliances. The appearance of hundreds of aliens is simply clever editing and planning, and lighting plus slime helped make these suits more solid. 5 meters, man, 4. What the hell? Of course, they realize, the roof. And this is a great shot. One of the best shots in the movie, because it just is a big holy shit moment. Quiet, holy shit. And one of the best action scenes in the movie. They're all hell breaking loose. Like just humans versus aliens, firepower, pulse rifles, great music by James Horner, cool, moody red lighting that fits it well. Even Sigourney Weaver be able to get some shots of her own. The first but not the last. Bert being once again a prick. Of course, later on you would get it's on the Blu-ray. It's not in the movie, but it's on the Blu-ray. The shot where Ripley hands him a grenade after he's been cocooned. But yeah, Hudson goes out here, Bill Paxton, but you know what? He goes out like a boss, man. Motherfucker, come on, get it, baby. Come on, you too. Just kicking ass, man. Come on, Pastor. Come on, you too. Come on, you want some of this? Ah, fuck you. Ah, fuck you. And it's sad to see him die, that character. But and then that great shot of Hicks killing an alien above him. And yeah, I mean Hudson went down, but man, he went down, in a blaze of glory. Just like Vasquez. See, lo and behold, you have an ensemble war film when the characters die. I actually give a shit. Unlike Rogue One. When Hudson died, that was sad, but he went down in a blaze of glory. It wasn't just some random fucking grenade going poof. But I can see why the whole grenade thing was cut out, because right here you just assume that he's out to dinner. and he's the dinner. So yep, he's shit out of luck. And yeah, of course, in movies, the vents have to be big enough for a human to go in. But just like Die Hard, just like many other movies. But yeah, it never bothered me. I was always fine with it. But yeah, I mean, in Rogue One, you don't give a shit about any of the ensemble dying. Here you do. Hudson died? Oh shit. Vasquez is gonna die? Oh shit. But they go down fighting, they go down like a badass. I'm like, oh, Rogue One is this and that. Oh yeah, watch Aliens. That's how you do it. Sorry, that's how you do it. Great lighting, the red and the blue. It really fits with the mood. James Horner's score just keeping up with the tension of the sequence, the excitement of the sequence. People being a badass with badass guns, and love that shot of the alien going through the vent. Just tearing down that vent. I mean, if you saw that, I'd be, oh shit. And lighting used well. If they use too much lighting, then maybe you see some flaws on the suits. But see, lighting is a part of it. Lighting is a part of creature effects. Oh, I was even going to mention that before. From what I understand, oh, actually, I know this quick up close shot is actually Gale Anne Hurd as Vasquez. The close up of the gun, especially with her foot, right here on the gun. Boom, boom, boom. Apparently, that's Gale Anne Hurd, and Vasquez's something I guess went wrong, and so Gale Anne Hurd went in for those up close shots of the foot against the alien head and such. And yeah, Vasquez is a badass. Jeanette Goldstein, badass. And Gorman, it's not a pussy. He went back for her. Didn't have to, but he did. And did the best that he could. Of course, getting into that scene, you're always an asshole, Gorman. But, they shared a nice little quick moment with each other, and then, so what else can they do? Even though they didn't like each other, hey, boom. Respect for each other at the end. Nice little moment, but it's not played out. It's not gag-inducing. It's not put you over the head with it. It's there, and if you get it, you get it. But yeah, like I was saying before, I remember hearing recently that Suicide Squad won for best makeup. And it just really shows how if the effects market are jack shit when Suicide Squad is now an Oscar-winning movie for best makeup effects. I'm thinking of all the movies, Pumpkinhead and fucking John Carpenter's The Thing did not get even nominated for best makeup effects. And I mentioned Pumpkinhead, Hellraiser, stuff Tom Savini did. The list goes on and on and on. But Suicide Squad gets it. And if you think about the year 2016 or whatever, there's not many of these effects being made anymore. I'm not saying none. I'm just saying it's rare. It's a rare thing. It's sad. It just shows the dying art of the makeup effects, creature effects. You would not see a big movie coming out in the summer like this did with the amount of creature effects like this. It wouldn't be rated R. It would not be adult characters or actors. It would be teenagers. It would be PG-13, teenagers, a lot of pretty faces or pretty actors, and it'd be a lot of CGI. And that's why a lot of times I'm very judgmental on movies today, because I think that's the wrong course of action. I think that's the bad course of action. I think a movie like this should be studied. Capable actors, adult actors with natural looks that are hired because they can act, not because they look like a model. Well done creature effects that don't look hokey or cheesy, but are very well done. Because real, you cannot get more real than real. That alien coming out of the water looks really cool, coming at getting Newt. Because it looks real. Because it was real. And I wish James Cameron would get some balls back. But now he's going to direct Avatar 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. I'm like, how long has it been since Avatar 1? 2009? It's been 8 years so far? Yeah, 2009, so it's been about 8 years so far. I mean, will anyone give a shit when Avatar 2 comes out? They'll make money. What am I getting? But still. I'd rather have him do, hey, you know what? Give carte blanche, you make Alien 3 the way you wanted to. Hey, what do I know? Of course, a great moment with Hicks. Great going to elevator, able to kick his ass, but get that acid. It's no joke. That's not going to feel good in the morning. And it's funny because it's the second time that you would see a woman carrying Michael Biehn like this, whether it's Linda Hamilton carrying a hurt Michael Biehn in the Terminator, or Sigourney Weaver carrying a hurt Michael Biehn in Aliens. But he played that character well. He played it very well. Worked very well. Very easy to root for. Nice shot when the alien went into the elevator shaft, and well directed. Nice model work from the effects guys. Apparently Michael Biehn got the call on a Friday night, asked him to take over the role of Hicks, and was in London to start filming the following Monday. Wow. I know if you watch the making of, like I said, the crew, they were mystified by James Cameron. Like, why is he directing the sequel to this? They were antagonistic against him and Gale Anne Hurd. I think the assistant director had to be fired, and then some of the crew were pissed off, but they were wrong. And this is where you get Ripley going back into that nest to rescue Newt, which, because of Alien 3, this entire sequence from here to the ending is pointless. Because just so Newt can die 5 minutes in, and Hicks, and everyone else. That's why I don't understand the apologies for the not apologies, but the standing up for Alien 3. I don't understand that. This whole sequence here to the end is pointless then. If you watch Alien 3, this is going to get new is pointless. She could have just left with Bishop and they would have gone on, and either the same thing would have happened or whatever. I mean, this was added, and I love this part. It's Dwayne. Given their first names, Dwayne, Ellen. I think it's a great moment between the characters, and just a nice final moment for Michael Biehn. Because in the theatrical cut, we don't have a final moment with Michael Biehn. The final moment is he gets hurt in the elevator, and then he's asleep in the cryo sleep. But here, at least there's a final moment where he's able to smile and say, "Hey, good luck." It's that final stamp for his character. At least he gets one in the extended cut. That's something that should not have been cut out at all. See, stuff like that, I don't understand why it was cut out. And it makes sense why it was put back in. But I love this whole gearing up, having a flamethrower as well as the grenade launchers, as well as all the ammo for the pulse rifle and little flares. And this is like when Ripley becomes an action hero, on par with, the icons of Rambo and all that stuff. I think people would call it a female Rambo in this thing. I mean, it's, having this look, that pose right there, that just, that's the poster. Hopefully it's the poster I have for this fan commentary. Just, that's an iconic pose. If you don't talk about facing your fear, that's the way to do it. Armed and dangerous, and like that right there that's an iconic moment. Get off the elevator with that flamethrower ready to burst right in your face. Because even the first Alien, she wasn't able to do too much of that. Just a few bursts of the flamethrower through a couple corridors, and that's it. Because there's really no usage of guns in the first Alien. But here, it's like, especially when you get to the age scene, just fry all those fuckers. And if I think about it, has there been an Alien film where we've actually seen someone use a flamethrower that actually does burn up an alien? Not steer them away, but actually burn, and we see it burn away. If not, that's something we could see in a new one. It's not what happened in Alien Covenant, but I'm just saying, could be done. Be nice. And again, that's why I hate Alien 3 so much, because I love this sequence so much. Going to the nest by herself with a lot of courage, using that flamethrower like a champ, flamethrower fun, pulse rifle fun, really just unleashing her inner demons out of her system. But when she destroys that nest of eggs and aliens and xenomorphs, the sort of descent into hell, her literal personal hell. This is the thing that killed her crew and lost her daughter now because of this, lost her life, 57 years gone. And that's why this is the perfect ending to the series. To me, Alien 3 doesn't exist. Alien Resurrection doesn't exist. It's like one of those Star Trek alternate universes. It's the mirror universe or something. It's an alternate universe. And she just, it was around this time where she would find Burke, and he was cocooned, and he would be like, "Oh, help me, help me," and she would give him a grenade. And I'm not sure if you heard the explosion or you just got the idea that he killed himself with it. I don't know. I've seen the scene, the sequence. Again, it's on the Blu-ray. But there you go. Just killing motherfuckers left and right, being a badass, having the creatures come all over the little kid. That didn't sound right. Well, it secreted it, so doesn't say where it's secreted from, which hole. But I mean, make your own opinion on that. I miss practical model work. I mean, There was a talent, there was effort, there was hard work. Because major movies are not easy, folks. They're not supposed to be easy. He'd be very bad news. If they were easy, everyone would do it. Maybe that's the problem. People think it's so fucking easy, so many people do try when they should not try. It's like some people shouldn't be trying to make movies, honestly. And this is always another oh shit moment where what have we just got ourselves into? Great design, great work of all of these eggs just held up in there. Up, down, and center. Now I know they help put the eggs where they need to be, but I have to also assume they also help make the eggs. Well, maybe not. I'm sorry, that's just such an iconic shot once again. That reveal. Always love the look of this alien queen because its teeth look like glass. Look at those teeth. It literally looks like glass for teeth. I mean that in a good way. It just looks so cool. It's intimidating. Just great work with love the lighting, love the look of the queen. They did such a fantastic job. And also it shows its intelligence because hey, you get the idea? I'm gonna burn you little motherfuckers. Leave me the fuck alone. And what you doing? What you talking about, Willis? Get the fuck out. He gets the fuck out. You get the fuck out too? Okay, I'm leaving. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, Donnie. Okay. You got your kids. I got my kid. Leave me the fuck alone. But, you fucked up. And just that look. Oh, you want to pull an 8 on me? Well, shut the fuck up, Donnie, and you're all dead. I'm gonna fry your ass like with a side of bacon. Here's some bacon bits for your ass. You fuck with me, you fuck with the best. I take you all to fucking hell. For some reason I think she's Starface, but and this is just her unleashing all of her nightmares and just unleashing on all these eggs and all these xenomorphs and just that's a purge right there. Excuse me. Just love that. Not only that, I'm going to blow the AIDS inside you as well. Pump it through grenades up your ass. Literally up your ass. And make omelets out of them. Love that. Yes, I just came in my pants. Sneak on me? Fuck you, motherfucker. Want some grenades too? Shove these up your ass and go fuck yourself. Effective. Did not need Michael Bay 50-minute action sequence to be effective. Right there's the visceralness and all the elements working together. And yeah, we're pretty much trying to get the fuck out of Dodge. And about 15 to 17 minutes left in the movie. And like you could tell there was a big budget behind this. You could tell from the sets that they built up and the model work used and the creatures used and the It's one of those things where I see the effort. I appreciate the effort. And sometimes when you just have such an overabundance of CGI, it's like, is this really a live action movie or is this just an animated movie? You have more CGI than live action. You might as well just make it a full on cartoon. Here I see the real steam. I see all the real dirt and real grime. I see the real fire. I see a real creature coming up to tear you a new asshole. You know, her working with real fire right here. There's that CGI fire added later. There's that CGI fire added after the fact. Yes, I understand wanting a safer work environment, but at the same time, it's not you. This guy, you gotta get your hands dirty too. That's part of the reason why films like this become classics. And I know I missed it, but I like the fact that Queen gives that sort of weird look of the elevator, like, huh, huh. Of course, that quick moment. Did Bishop fuck her over like Ash did in the first one? But you find out, no, not really. Apparently, Stephen Lane auditioned for the roles of Carter Burt and Dwayne Hicks. Well, he would later work on Avatar. I'm glad Stephen Lane didn't get it, to be honest. Yeah, this is the longest of all four Alien films, clocking in at 2 hours and 17 minutes. Well, that's the theatrical cut. The extended is 2 hours and 34 minutes, but I never found it boring. Never bored one bit. I think this is nice model work, a nice, I don't know if you want to call it blue screen or however it was done. And the operators did a great job utilizing this alien queen. Make it feel alive and move like it needed it to be. And this is where you get in that classic piece of music called Bishop's Countdown, which you would hear in so many movie trailers afterward. The trailer to From Dusk Till Dawn, the trailer to... Even when they did, what was the Avengers fan trailer, if the Avengers were made in the 90s. You would always hear this Bishop's Countdown. It's really cool. It's one of the great pieces of music out there. It's one of those things where it really hypes you up. It really hypes you up, like, oh shit, you know, things are... Actually, I'm going to try to look it up right now. But as they get out of orbit. Yeah, Bishop's Countdown was used in stuff like Alien 3. I think some stuff for Broken Array. Not Broken Arrow. I was saying Blown Away and Broken Arrow at the same time. From Dusk Till Dawn, Ghost in the Machine, Lake Placid, Minority Report. Yeah, one of the trailers to Misery did have that. One of the trailers to People Under the Stairs had that. Volcano had that. Time Cop. So yeah, a lot of trailers. Yeah, Broken Arrow, Dante's Peak, From Dusk Till Dawn, Ghost in the Machine, Lake Placid, yeah, Misery, The Abyss, and some of the trailers. People Under the Stairs, Time Cop, Volcano. You know, a lot of movies. If you needed something with action in it or some other kind of thing, that's a trailer. Bishop's Countdown was a great track to use. Sadly, they don't use that anymore for any trailers. And Bishop was a good guy. He was a good android. He was true to his word. He just fucked up here. Hey, right in the clincher. That's a lot of milk. Does a body good. Doesn't do his body good because you don't want to be ripped apart a few seconds. Granted, I don't know how the fuck the Alien Queen got there. That's one of those things. I don't know how the Alien Queen got there. It didn't seem like there was much time for his big ass to fit in there, but you know, I'd go with it because he did a great scene like this. And no, I don't think the Alien Queen had enough time to sit down and poop out an egg or two. Because it wasn't like two face huggers, or it'd be like, or two or three or whatever. Fuck. No, I don't think it had time to do that. My whole egg thing got blown to shit, and here I am. It's probably been like 20 minutes, but I gotta poop out two eggs that the sensors did not fucking catch when they probably used it afterward. But what do I know? Fuck Alien 3. Yeah, but great usage of the puppetry of this queen and to a really satisfying finale. I mean, not only do you have that great stuff with the nest, but then you get this stuff coming up. I mean, just one great action scene after the other, man. I know Lance Henriksen didn't have fun with all that stuff on his mouth because I think like some of it was like spoiled items or so forth. Made him sick. Could be wrong. Sorry, now I'm getting into it again. I'm not speaking. Yeah, it's one of those things where, hey, mama, don't fuck with another mama. Cause mama, I'm coming home to put my foot up your ass. Of course, one of the big lines in the movie, get away from her, you bitch. You have such a great fight. I mean, they would never do this nowadays because it'd just be a CGI thing and CGI flying around and moving around in CGI fashion and moving around because it's too slow. Where the fuck the reason is. There's a reason why this is classic. There's a reason why people still love this to this day. Many reasons, but the quality of this. People look at this and go, "Why can't they do that today?" And I'm like, I don't know, because they're fucking lazy. Here you got the using the tail. You got using the double mouth. You got him trying to get in and stab the shit out of her. It's really tight editing work. And each one trying to get the upper hand. And I know one joke. There's actually a guy behind her who's controlling some stuff, and he had put something in his pants to make it seem like he had a boner to freak Sigourney Weaver out. I mean, look at that shot. That double. That's cool. That's extremely cool. Okay, you don't do that to me. I'm gonna do this to you. Tit for tat. Okay, I'm gonna drop your ass down here. Okay, you don't do that. I'm gonna grab you. I'm gonna go. Ah, fuck you. Take you down with me. Even this stuff just works so well. And I know it's people's opinions, but this is one of those times where I don't really. It's why I never treated Sigourney Weaver as serious as other people did. Like Roger Ebert gave the film a thumbs up. He gave it like 3.5 out of 4 stars. But Gene Siskel, he always had a bug up his ass, saying, "One extremely violent, protracted attack on the senses, and towards the end, the film resorts to placing the young girl in jeopardy in a pathetic attempt to pander to who knows what audience. Some people have praised the technical excellence of Aliens. Well, the Eiffel Tower is technically impressive, but I wouldn't want to watch it fall apart on people for 2 hours." Gene Siskel should have gotten the stick up your ass. And yeah, it's being jettisoned out of the airlock again, but I can forgive that because it's an alien queen. It's done in a very cool, personal way, and you can't shoot it because you have a lot of alien acid. And if it's done effectively, then it works. If it works, it works. This airlock scene is done effectively. I would even say it's done more effectively than the first one, and I love the first one. But between the two, this is my favorite. And a great piece of music there. Even Lance Henriksen has a nice little moment here. You know, not bad for a human. Say goodbye to Bishop and Hicks. Does he fucking die in the next one? Not to me though. Alien 3 does. Alien 3 is like one of those hangovers that make you want to puke day low, and you find out you got an STD, and it's just like, you know what? I just forget it never existed. Never existed. Granted, like an STD still hangs around, but it doesn't exist. And this ending works perfectly. They both got a family back. They both face their fears and nightmares, and they both can sleep. And it's a fairy tale ending. You know, sleeping, they're perfectly fine. Even that music, James Horner has a fairy tale type of ending to it. And it shows one gained a mother, one gained a daughter. To me, it's the perfect way to end. Face to black. You have the credits. Beautiful music by James Horner. Great cast. Bill Paxton, Private Hudson, we miss you, man. You're the reason why I did this solo fan commentary. He unfortunately passed away. He's very much missed. And sorry that I've been struggling to do the commentaries, not the best or anything, but I never said I was an expert. Just a fan talking about a movie I love and enjoy. To me, it's an action movie classic. It's got thrills, it's got chills, it's got excellent cast of characters who have personality and charisma, has a good sense of humor. For a 2.5 hour movie, I didn't find it boring 1 minute. It's not wall-to-wall action, but when it's there, it's intense. It's very well done. I like the characters even without the aliens. Then the aliens come up as an added bonus. Pulse-pounding ending with the queen in the nest, and then one-on-one fight with a power loader. Excellent performances by Sigourney Weaver, Michael Biehn, Bill Paxton, Carrie Henn, Al Matthews, Jeanette Goldstein, Paul Reiser, Lance Henriksen, Stephen Norrington, who would go on to direct Blade and Death Machine. He's one of the special effects crew. one of my favorite scores of all time. James Horner, I know he didn't have the great time working on this. May James Horner rest in peace. He did a fantastic job on this. The effects are top notch. The production values are top notch. The writing is pretty damn good. Never boring. I could rewatch this movie anytime, any day. It's that much of a great movie. Not just popcorn movie, but just a great movie in general. So we're getting to the end because it's, thanking all the people. James Cameron is my favorite film James Cameron's done. It's my favorite of the series. To me, it ended right here, no further. Aliens to me is one of the best films of all time. It's a classic. I love the film to death. Up, down, and center. And all I can say is, yeah. Fuck Alien 3.